Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare wheat pennies. These classic coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties, their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top one today, we've got an extraordinary coin to talk about. One that might just be hiding in your collection, or perhaps even in your loose change. That's right, today we're diving into the incredible world of the 1917 United States 1-cent coin. This tiny, humble piece of history has a surprising value, and we're here to show you why it's worth paying close attention to. Stick around because, by the end of the video, we'll reveal the astonishing value of this rare coin. Now, the 1917 1-cent coin is not just any ordinary penny. When we think of pennies, we often imagine a small, unassuming piece of copper that's practically worthless today. But the 1917 1-cent is far from ordinary. In fact, it's a coin that carries with it a rich history, fascinating details, and yes, a value that could blow your mind. So let's start by taking a look at what makes this penny so special. The 1917 penny, also known as the wheat cent, was produced during a period of transformation in the United States. The country was deeply involved in World War I, and the economy was shifting dramatically. The United States Mint had been producing these wheat pennies for years, and by 1917, they had already become a staple of American currency. But what sets this specific year apart from the rest? For starters, let's look at the design. On the obverse side, you'll find a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most beloved figures in American history. The likeness was designed by Victor David Brenner and has become one of the most iconic images on U.S. coinage. Lincoln's image on the penny has remained largely unchanged since the coin was first issued in 1909, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. numismatic history. On the reverse side, we see the famous wheat stalks that give the coin its name, the wheat cent. These two stalks of wheat frame the words 1 cent in the middle, with the words United States of America wrapping around the top. This design, which was created by engraver John R. Cynic, remained on the penny until 1958. It's a simple yet elegant design that has become synonymous with American currency. But here's where things get interesting. Despite the 1917 penny being relatively common in terms of mintage numbers, certain variations and minting errors make some of these coins far more valuable than others. For example, the 1917 penny with a strong, clear strike or one that has been well preserved can command a much higher price. Coins in excellent condition, those that are uncirculated and free from damage, are highly sought after by collectors, as they are incredibly rare. Additionally, some 1917 pennies come with fascinating variations in their design that make them stand out even more. Certain types of these coins, like those with unique mint marks, can command a premium. Collectors love these variants because they are not only rare, but they tell a story of how the coins were produced during that specific year. As a result, a 1917 penny with specific minting errors or unusual features could be worth significantly more than a typical example. Now, you're probably wondering, how much could a 1917 penny actually be worth? Well, here's where things get really exciting. If you happen to come across a 1917 1-cent coin in superb, uncirculated condition, or if it has a rare minting error or unique characteristic, it could be worth a staggering amount. Some of these coins have been known to fetch upwards of $87,000. That's right, $87,000. Yes, you read that correctly. This tiny coin, which was once just a small part of everyday life, could now be worth a small fortune to the right buyer. Of course, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that have been well preserved, those that are free from scratches, discoloration, or wear, are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated over the years. But if you're lucky enough to have a pristine 1917 penny or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. So, the next time you're going through your change jar or checking out coins from your collection, keep an eye out for the 1917 1-cent coin. You never know, you might just be sitting on a hidden treasure that could change your financial future. To summarize, the 1917 United States 1-cent coin is not just an ordinary penny. It's a piece of American history with a rich background, an iconic design, and the potential to be worth far more than its face value. Whether it's in mint condition or has a rare minting error, this penny could be worth a lot more than you ever expected. Top 2, we're diving into an exciting journey through time, discovering one of the most intriguing coins from the United States, the 1941 1-cent coin. You may have some of these pennies lying around in your collection or tucked away in a drawer, but what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth an unbelievable amount of money? Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed by just how much this penny could actually fetch. So, let's set the stage. The year is 1941. The world was on the brink of monumental change. The United States was on the edge of entering World War II, and the global stage was shifting in ways that would forever alter the course of history. But while the world around was changing, something far smaller, but still very significant, was happening in the world of U.S. coinage. The 1941 1-cent coin, also known as the wheat cent, was being minted during this pivotal year. Now, if you're a coin collector or just someone who's interested in numismatics, you probably already know about the iconic wheat penny design, which was first introduced in 1909. The coin features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. This design has become one of the most recognizable symbols in American coinage history, and the 1941 penny is no exception. But here's where it gets interesting. While many of the 1941 pennies were produced and circulated during that time, not all of them are created equal. In fact, some 1941 1-cent coins are far more valuable than others, and this is where you want to pay attention. Because these pennies could be worth much more than just their face value. One of the main factors that can determine the value of a 1941 penny is its condition. You see, over time, most coins get worn down, scratched, and tarnished from being used in everyday transactions. But coins that have been well preserved, those that show little to no signs of wear, are highly sought after by collectors. Coins in mint condition, or those that have been carefully stored in pristine condition, can fetch a much higher price than typical circulated examples. For the 1941 1-cent coin, collectors are looking for those examples that are in the best condition. A well-preserved 1941 penny can command a premium price, with some of the highest-grade examples reaching incredible amounts. And we're not just talking a few bucks here, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. So, if you're lucky enough to have a 1941 penny that's been carefully stored and protected from the ravages of time, you could be sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it. But it's not just about the condition. There are also certain rare variants of the 1941 penny that make it even more valuable. For example, some 1941 pennies were struck with errors during the minting process, which makes them even more desirable to collectors. These errors could include things like misprints, off-center strikes, or double die varieties, where the image on the coin is improperly stamped. Error coins are some of the most exciting finds in the world of numismatics because they are truly unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that have a fascinating story behind them. So, you might be wondering, how much can a 1941 penny actually be worth? Are we talking about just a couple of bucks, or is there something more to it? Well, hold on to your seats, because here comes the big reveal. If you happen to have a 1941 1-cent coin in exceptional, uncirculated condition, or even better, if it has a rare minting error or unique feature, it could be worth a jaw-dropping amount. Some of these coins have sold for as much as $82,000. Yes, you heard that right, $82,000 for a single 1941 penny. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that, in many cases, was once just another piece of everyday currency. But the truth is, the value of coins like the 1941 1-cent penny has only risen over the years as collectors continue to seek out these rare historical treasures. It's important to note that not every 1941 penny will be worth this amount. The condition of the coin is key. Only those that are in pristine, uncirculated condition or have rare minting errors will fetch such a high price. However, even a less-than-perfect example can still be worth more than you might expect, especially if it's a rare variant or has an interesting history behind it. So, if you're going through your collection or checking your spare change, don't overlook those old 1941 pennies. You just might have a valuable piece of history sitting in your pocket. If you think you might have one of these rare coins, it's worth having it appraised by a professional to find out its true value. To wrap things up, the 1941 1-cent coin is more than just a simple penny from the past. It's a piece of history with potential value far beyond its humble beginnings. Whether it's in perfect condition or has a unique minting error, this penny could be worth a fortune. So, if you have a 1941 penny lying around, now might be the time to take a closer look at it. You never know, it could be worth $82,000. Top 3, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. coinage, and this time, we're focusing on a very special penny, the 1945 1-cent coin. While most pennies are often seen as insignificant or just pocket change, this particular coin might just be more valuable than you think. It's hard to believe that something as simple as a 1-cent piece could be worth a small fortune, but if you stick around, you're going to be amazed at the value of the 1945 penny. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll want to check your old coin collections. Let's travel back to 1945 for a moment. This was a year of great historical significance. World War II had just come to a close, and the world was beginning to rebuild from the devastation it had faced. The United States, as a victorious nation, was entering a new era of growth and prosperity. Amidst this transformative period, the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins, including the 1-cent piece, which would go on to become one of the most collected and valued coins in American history. The 1945 1-cent coin belongs to the iconic series of wheat pennies, which were first introduced in 1909. These coins feature the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and a pair of wheat stalks on the reverse side. The design of the wheat penny was a reflection of the nation's agricultural roots and its deep respect for Lincoln's legacy. As with many coins, the design itself is simple yet meaningful, and the 1945 penny is no exception. Now, you may be thinking, why is a 1945 penny so valuable? After all, most pennies minted around this time were mass-produced and circulated widely. The truth is, the value of a 1945 penny depends on a number of factors, and not all of them are created equal. So what makes this penny stand out from the rest? The first and most obvious factor is the coin's condition. Over the years, many pennies, especially those from the 1940s, were used in everyday transactions and became worn down and damaged. A coin that's been through decades of circulation typically has scratches, discoloration, and other signs of wear. But coins that have been carefully stored or remain uncirculated are much more rare and much more valuable. For the 1945 penny, coins that have been preserved in near-perfect condition are highly sought after. These coins are often graded using a scale that measures their wear and overall quality, and a 1945 penny in excellent condition can command a premium price. If you've got one of these pristine examples sitting in your collection, you're already ahead of the game. However, there's more to the 1945 penny than just its condition. One of the key factors that can make this coin incredibly valuable is if it has certain rare features or minting errors. During the minting process, occasional mistakes happen, resulting in unique coins that stand out from the rest. For example, some 1945 pennies may have slight variations in their design, such as an off-center strike or doubling of the letters and numbers. These coins, known as error coins, are considered rare treasures in the world of numismatics. Error coins like these can significantly increase the value of the 1945 penny. Collectors are always on the lookout for these special pieces, and if you happen to find a 1945 penny with a rare error, it could make your coin even more valuable than you might expect. Minting mistakes are highly collectible because they are unique and cannot be replicated, making them a true treasure for any serious collector. So, how much could a 1945 penny be worth? This is where things get truly exciting. If you have a 1945 penny that is in outstanding condition, perhaps an uncirculated piece, or one with a rare error or unique feature, you could be sitting on a coin worth a stunning amount. Some of these pennies have been known to sell for as much as $76,000. Yes, that's right, $76,000 for a single 1945 penny. It might sound unbelievable, but it's true. A well-preserved penny from 1945, or one with an uncommon error, could easily fetch this incredible price at auction. The value is driven by its rarity, condition, and the demand among collectors who are constantly searching for these historical gems. It's important to note that not every 1945 penny is going to be worth that kind of money. The majority of these coins, especially those that have been heavily circulated, are worth only a few cents. However, if you happen to find a 1945 penny that's in exceptional condition, or one that has a rare minting error, you might just have a highly valuable collector's item on your hands. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or digging through old coin collections, take a second look at your 1945 pennies. They might not look like much at first glance, but with the right condition and unique features, they could be worth thousands of dollars. To sum it all up, the 1945 1-cent coin is far more than just a piece of U.S. currency. It's a collectible treasure with a fascinating history, and depending on its condition or any unique features it may have, it could be worth a small fortune. So don't dismiss those old pennies just yet. Take a closer look, and you might just discover that your 1945 1-cent coin is worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Top for we're uncovering a hidden gem from the world of numismatics, a coin that many people overlook, but it's one that has the potential to change your financial future. We're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1950. Yes, that's right, a 1950 penny. You might think it's just another penny from the past, but let me tell you, this seemingly ordinary coin has a surprising value that could leave you stunned. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be itching to check your coin jar or maybe even dive into your collection to see if you have one of these in your possession. So, let's set the scene. The year is 1950. The United States was still in the post-World War II boom, and the economy was in a state of rapid growth. People were living in a time of new possibilities, with emerging technologies and innovations shaping the world. During this time, the U.S. Mint was still producing the iconic wheat pennies, which had been in circulation since 1909. These pennies were used in everyday transactions, but little did people know that some of the 1950 pennies would eventually become highly valuable collectibles. The design of the 1951 cent coin is quite familiar to many. A portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, created by Victor David Brenner, and the famous wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing the country's agricultural roots. This design has stood the test of time, becoming an emblem of American history. The wheat cent was struck from 1909 to 1958, and the 1950 penny is a part of this long-lasting and cherished series. But why is the 1950 penny so special, and why is it so valuable? One of the main reasons for the 1950 penny's appeal lies in its rarity and condition. As with any coin, a penny that has been used in daily circulation typically shows signs of wear. Over the years, the 1950 pennies were heavily circulated, resulting in many of them becoming scratched, worn down, or discolored. However, coins that have been well preserved, those that show minimal signs of wear or have remained uncirculated, are a lot more difficult to come by. These well-preserved examples are highly sought after by collectors, and if you happen to find one in excellent condition, you might just have a valuable piece of history on your hands. But there's another layer of rarity when it comes to the 1950 penny, certain variants of the coin. As with many coins, some 1950 pennies were struck with minting errors or variations that make them particularly special. For example, the 1950 penny was minted at different U.S. mint facilities, and certain mint marks can significantly affect the coin's value. For instance, the 1950 penny with a D mint mark for the Denver Mint is relatively common, while the 1950 penny with no mint mark, which was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, is rarer and more sought after. But here's the real kicker. Some of the 1950 pennies contain rare minting errors that increase their value even more. Minting errors can happen during the production process, and these mistakes create unique coins that cannot be replicated. For example, an off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, or a double die error, where the image on the coin is duplicated, can make a 1950 penny far more valuable than the average example. These error coins are highly coveted by collectors and often fetch substantial amounts at auctions. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. How much can the 1951 cent coin be worth? You might be wondering if this little penny is just worth a few cents, or if it holds some serious value. Well, I have some exciting news for you. If you have a 1950 penny in top-tier condition, or better yet, if it features a rare minting error or variant, it could be worth a significant sum. Some of these coins have been known to sell for a mind-blowing $71,000. Yes, that's right, $71,000 for a single 1950 penny. While not every 1950 penny is worth this much, those in exceptional condition, or those with rare minting errors, can command impressive prices. A coin in perfect, uncirculated condition can fetch an incredible amount because collectors are constantly on the lookout for these pristine examples. Even if the coin has a small but noticeable minting error, that could push its value into the thousands. To put it simply, if you've got a 1950 penny lying around in your collection or tucked away in a drawer, it might just be worth more than you think. If you find one of these coins that's been carefully preserved or has an interesting variation, it could very well be worth a small fortune. So don't dismiss it just because it's a 1-cent coin. Take a closer look and see if it could be one of the rare, valuable ones. The moral of the story is clear. The 1951-cent coin is far more valuable than most people realize. Thanks to its design, the period in which it was minted, and the potential for rare minting errors, this penny has become a highly prized collector's item. Whether it's in pristine, uncirculated condition or features a unique minting flaw, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So, next time you come across a 1950 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just have a rare treasure on your hands that could be worth a staggering 71,000. Make sure to keep an eye on your coins, because the value of these historical pieces can really add up. Top 5, we're going to reveal something extraordinary from the world of US coinage that you may not have thought twice about: a 1953 1-cent coin. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just another penny, right? Well, let me tell you, this isn't just any ordinary penny. The 1953 1-cent coin could very well be hiding a small fortune, and if you're lucky enough to own one, you might be sitting on an incredible treasure without even knowing it. Stick around until the end of this video because you'll be shocked by the value this simple coin could hold. Let's rewind the clock and look at the year 1953. The world was still recovering from the aftermath of World War II, and the United States was moving into a period of prosperity and growth. The 1950s were a time of cultural change and technological advancement, with the economy booming. This period was also significant in the world of coinage, as the U.S. Mint continued to produce the iconic wheat penny, a design that had been in circulation since 1909. The wheat penny was beloved by collectors, and the 1953 1-cent coin is no exception, holding a special place in the hearts of numismatists. If you've ever seen a wheat penny, you know exactly what we're talking about. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side, the coin features 2 stalks of wheat, which symbolize the agricultural history of the United States. The wheat design was a hallmark of the penny for decades, and it remains one of the most beloved symbols in American coinage history. But here's the catch. While the 1953 penny may seem like a typical piece of currency, not all of them are the same. The true value of the 1953 1-cent coin depends on a number of factors, particularly its condition and any rare variations it may have. The 1953 penny, like many coins from the past, was heavily circulated, which means most of them show signs of wear and tear. Over the years, pennies would get scratched, discolored, and even dented as they were used in daily transactions. But what if you happen to come across a 1953 penny that's in mint condition or, even better, has some unique features? That's where the real value comes in. The first thing collectors look for in any coin, especially a wheat penny like the 1953, is its condition. Coins that have been carefully preserved, stored properly, and kept in uncirculated condition are much more valuable than those that have seen heavy circulation. A 1953 penny that's in pristine condition, showing no signs of wear, is a rare find. It's this kind of well-preserved penny that can fetch the highest prices at auctions and in the marketplace. If you're lucky enough to have one of these untouched gems in your collection, you could be holding on to something very special, but the condition of the coin isn't the only factor that can drive up its value. Some 1953 pennies have rare characteristics or minting errors that make them even more valuable. For instance, a coin that was struck off-center or one that has a double die error can make it a unique and highly sought-after piece. A double die error means the design on the coin is duplicated or misaligned, and it's one of the most popular and valuable types of errors for collectors. These kinds of minting flaws are rare, and when found, they can turn an ordinary 1953 penny into a one-of-a-kind collectible that can fetch a premium price. Additionally, the 1953 penny was minted at different U.S. mint facilities, which can also impact its value. For example, if the coin was minted in Philadelphia, it will have no mint mark, while a coin minted in Denver will have a D mint mark. Generally speaking, pennies with no mint mark are rarer and more desirable among collectors, particularly if they're in excellent condition. The variety of mint marks and the differences in production methods during that year add layers of complexity that make certain 1953 pennies worth more than others. Now, let's get down to the big question. How much could a 1953 penny be worth? You may have a few of these pennies in your collection or hidden away in a drawer, and you're probably wondering if they could be worth a lot of money. Well, here's the exciting part. A 1953 penny in mint condition, or one that features a rare error, could be worth as much as $67,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $67,000 for a single 1953 penny. While not every 1953 penny is going to be worth that much, a well-preserved example or one with a rare minting error can fetch an unbelievable price. Even pennies that have some unique features, like different mint marks or small design variations, can see their value increase significantly. Of course, the majority of 1953 pennies won't be worth anywhere near this amount. If your coin is heavily worn or shows signs of extensive circulation, it may only be worth its face value, just 1 cent. However, if you happen to find a well-preserved, uncirculated 1953 penny or one with a minting flaw, it could be a valuable treasure waiting to be discovered. So, here's the takeaway. Don't underestimate those old pennies lying around. The 1953 1-cent coin may seem like just another piece of forgotten currency, but in reality, it could be worth far more than you imagine. If you have one of these rare coins in excellent condition, or even better, if it features an error or unique characteristic, you might have a coin worth thousands of dollars sitting right in front of you. Thanks for joining us on this exciting journey into the world of numismatics. If you enjoyed learning about the 1953 penny and want to discover more valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future video.